There's something nobody tells you about the people who are actually winning. They don't look like it. No flashy car in the driveway. No designer watch catching the light. No Instagram post from a rooftop in Dubai. Just quiet. Almost invisible. And that's exactly the point. You've been surrounded by the wrong signals your whole life. You were taught to read wealth through appearance. Through what people wear, what they drive, what they post. But here's what nobody ever sat you down and explained: the loudest people in the room are almost never the richest ones in it. Think about the last time you felt poor. Maybe it was standing next to someone with a better car, better clothes, a better looking life. Now ask yourself, did you actually know what was in their bank account? Or were you just reading the costume? Because here's what I've learned, and what took me longer to understand than I'd like to admit. Looking poor, on purpose, might be one of the most powerful financial decisions a person can make. Not out of shame. Not out of failure. Out of strategy. Think about how much of your financial life has been shaped by other people's eyes. The apartment you stretched your budget for, was it really for you, or was it for the reaction when you told people where you lived? The car you financed for 6 years, did it make your commute better, or did it make you feel like you finally arrived somewhere? We live inside an illusion machine. And most of us don't even know we're running it. There's a psychological term for this: conspicuous consumption. It was coined over 100 years ago by an economist named Thorstein Veblen. The idea is simple and devastating. People don't just buy things to use them. They buy things to be seen buying them. To signal status. To say, without words, I made it. And the machine keeps running because everyone around you is doing the same thing. Your coworker buys a new watch. Your cousin posts a vacation. Your neighbor pulls up in something new. And suddenly, without realizing it, you're calculating, where do I stand in all of this? That calculation is costing you everything. Not just money. Time. Energy. Years of your life spent chasing a moving target that was never yours to begin with. Because the moment you reach the level you were aiming for, someone above you shifts the ceiling again. The illusion doesn't have a finish line. And the people who figure that out early, the ones who quietly opted out, they're not behind. They're so far ahead you can't even see them. That's not an accident. That's a decision. Let me tell you about a certain kind of person. You've probably met one without knowing it. They drive something ordinary. They dress clean, but nothing that turns heads. They don't talk about money at dinner. They don't correct you when you underestimate them. And they never, not once, feel the need to prove anything to anyone in the room. From the outside, they look average. Maybe even a little behind. But behind that door, behind that unremarkable life, there's something most people spend their whole lives chasing and never catch. Freedom. Real freedom. Not the kind you post about. The kind that lets you sleep at night. The kind that means you can say no to the job, no to the deal, no to the person, because you don't need it. This isn't a fantasy. This is a documented pattern. The original research behind The Millionaire Next Door, a book that studied actual wealthy Americans for decades, found something that shattered the popular image completely. The majority of millionaires in the United States don't live in mansions. They live in modest neighborhoods. They buy used cars. They clip coupons. They look, to the untrained eye, completely ordinary. And that ordinariness isn't a limitation. It's the strategy. Because every dollar not spent performing wealth is a dollar compounding quietly in the background. Every year spent below your means is a year of distance building between you and financial panic. They're not invisible because they failed. They're invisible because they won, and they know better than to announce it. Here's a question nobody asks out loud. How much are you paying, every single month, just to look like you're doing okay? Not to actually do okay. Just to look it. Add it up. The lease on the car that's a little more than you needed. The apartment in the neighborhood that sounds right at a party. The clothes that signal something. The dinners you said yes to because saying no felt like admitting something. The trips you put on a card because everyone else was going and you didn't want to be the one who stayed behind. Add it up honestly. For most people in their 20s and 30s, that number is somewhere between $300 and $1,000 a month. Maybe more. Spent not on living, but on performing living. And here's the part that should stop you cold. That money, invested consistently over 10 years, doesn't just disappear into comfort. It turns into something. Depending on the amount, we're talking anywhere from $50,000 to over $150,000. Built quietly, invisibly, while everyone around you is busy looking the part. The cost of being seen isn't just financial. It's psychological. When your lifestyle is built around other people's perception, you become a hostage to it. You can't downsize without feeling like you failed. You can't say no without explaining yourself. You can't make a bold move, quit the job, start the thing, take the risk, because too much of your identity is tied up in maintaining the image. The image owns you. And you're paying for the privilege. There's a shape to how real wealth builds. And it doesn't look the way you think. Most people imagine financial progress as a straight line. You earn more, you have more, life visibly improves. Every raise shows up somewhere on the outside. Every promotion gets reflected in something you own. That's the model most of us inherited, from our parents, from television, from every advertisement that ever told you that success has an aesthetic. But the actual geometry of wealth is different. It curves. Slowly at first, almost imperceptibly. Then faster. Then so fast that the people who were watching you the whole time can't understand what happened or when. That's compounding. And compounding is brutally indifferent to how you look while it works. It doesn't care if you're driving something impressive. It doesn't reward you for the vacation photos. It doesn't accelerate because your apartment is in the right zip code. It only responds to one thing, the gap between what you earn and what you spend. That gap, protected and fed consistently over time, is the engine of everything. The people who understand this stop trying to look wealthy and start trying to build the conditions where wealth becomes inevitable. They get comfortable with a very specific kind of tension. The tension of knowing something others don't. Of sitting in a room and being underestimated. Of watching someone perform success while quietly calculating how many years ahead of them you already are. That tension has a name. Some call it discipline. Some call it patience. I call it the long game. And the long game is the only one worth playing. Now I want to be honest with you about something. Because this isn't a clean story. And I'd be doing you a disservice if I made it sound like one. Choosing invisibility, choosing to opt out of the performance, has a real price. And it's not financial. It's social. It's emotional. And some days, it's heavier than you expect. There will be people who misread you. Colleagues who overlook you for opportunities because you don't look the part. Dates who lose interest when they see what you drive. Family members who quietly wonder if you're struggling. Friends who stop inviting you to things because they assume you can't afford it, when the truth is you simply chose not to. And the hardest part isn't any of those things individually. The hardest part is the moment of doubt. The moment you're standing somewhere, looking at someone who chose the other path, the visible one, the loud one, and they look happy. They look successful. They look like they're living. And for just a second, a voice somewhere inside you whispers, "What if I got this wrong?" That moment is the real test. Not the budget. Not the investment account. The moment of doubt. Because here's what that voice never tells you, you're only seeing the surface. You don't see the credit card statement sitting unopened on their kitchen counter. You don't see the anxiety that wakes them up at 3 in the morning when the math stops working. You don't see the cage built out of appearances that they now have to maintain forever because they never built the exit. You're not behind. You're just playing a different game. A quieter one. A longer one. And most people will never understand it until it's too late to start. If you've made it here with me, through all of this, I want to take just a second to say something directly. Hit that subscribe button. Because what we talk about on this channel isn't motivation. It isn't hype. It's the kind of conversation that most people are too afraid to have, about money, about identity, about the quiet decisions that actually change a life. We're here every week. And if this video reached something in you, there's more where this came from. Now, here's what I want you to sit with. Everything we've talked about today isn't really about money. Not at its core. It's about who you're living for. Because the performance of wealth, the car, the clothes, the image, all of it is ultimately a conversation with other people. A constant, exhausting, expensive conversation where you're trying to say something about yourself without using words. Where you're hoping that what they see on the outside will fill something that feels empty on the inside. And the radical, almost dangerous idea at the center of all of this is simple. What if you stopped having that conversation? What if you just went quiet? Turned inward? Decided that the only scoreboard that matters is the one nobody else can see, your net worth, your freedom, your options, your peace. The people who figured this out didn't become invisible because they gave up. They became invisible because they stopped needing to be seen to feel real. That shift, that quiet, private shift, is where everything changes. Not in the market. Not in the salary negotiation. Not in the investment account. In the decision about who you're actually building this life for. There's a man nobody noticed for 30 years. Same house. Same car. Same lunch from the same bag every single day at his desk. His co-workers thought he was just getting by. His neighbors assumed he was comfortable but nothing more. Nobody asked him for financial advice. Nobody looked to him when the conversation turned to success. He retired at 58. Quietly. Without announcement. Left behind enough to never worry again, enough to give generously, enough to build something for the people he loved. Not because he earned more than everyone around him, but because for 30 years, while everyone was busy being seen, he was busy building. Nobody saw it coming. He wasn't surprised at all. That man isn't a legend. He's not a cautionary tale. He's not even particularly special. He just understood something early that most people spend a lifetime learning too late. That real wealth doesn't announce itself. It doesn't need to. It just sits there, patient and compounding, completely indifferent to whether anyone notices. And the most powerful thing you can do, starting today, not next month, not after the next raise, is decide that you're done performing. Done spending energy on the outside when the inside is still being built. The world will misread you. Let it. The right people will understand eventually. And the wrong ones were never your audience anyway. As it's written in Proverbs 13 verse 7, one person pretends to be rich, yet has nothing. Another pretends to be poor, yet has great wealth. That verse is thousands of years old. And it's still the most accurate financial analysis ever written. Hit that subscribe button and come back tomorrow, because we're just getting started. Share this with 5 people who need to hear it. Not to convince them of anything. Just to plant something. And drop a comment below, something honest. Tell me if this landed. Tell me where you were in this journey. And if you've got a topic you want us to dig into next, leave it there. I read every single one. Stay quiet. Stay building.